Let's say you want to take your coaching business from 100,000 a year to 1 million a year. And you're doing all the things, you're journaling, you're writing out your affirmations, you're doing all the stuff that everybody says that you should, yet somehow that needle's not moving in the bank account. None of this has anything to do with journaling more or hitting that affirmation absolutely perfectly every morning. What all of this stuff is about is that the old version of you, the one that helped get you to that 100,000, is actually right now in conflict with the new version of you that wants to get to that million. Now that might sound kind of spiritual and woo-woo, but what I'm going to tell you is it's actually very, very straightforward. Let's look at what it took to get to the first 100,000. You probably put in some time and effort every day. You're probably creating tons of content and you're publishing it out there. And over time, you build up what you're doing to get to that point. What you might also be aware of is that you're going to have to think differently and act differently in order to be able to get from the 100,000 to the million. Does that mean that you just do, say, 10 times more content because the content's working? No, absolutely not. Now, this is just an example, and I want to see what happens in your head when I say this. What it might just mean is that you want to take some of the content that you've already made and turn it into some paid ads. If that made you feel any particular kind of way, or if you had some stories pop up in your head when I said that, like, ew, ads are gross, or ads won't work for me, or any number of any other reasons or excuses, or just in general negative feelings, that's what I'm talking about. Those negative feelings and those negative stories, that's the boundary between your $100,000 self and your $1 million self. And I'll tell you, I had to deal with this personally too. In my own business, I was in the complete opposite direction. I was running tons of ads, but I wasn't making content like this. And I was thinking, oh, that sounds like work. I don't want to do that. I'm going to be a slave to the content machine. But you know what? I started doing it. Now I actually kind of like it. So just remember that when you're wanting to, let's call it, in the industry term, quantum leap from where you are to where you want to go, it's honestly sometimes just looking for those negative feelings and pushing through them. I'll see you in the next one.